In most games, we're supposed to be the hero, the chosen one, the morally upstanding citizen. But give us 5 minutes, a slightly annoying character, and a lootable house, and suddenly we're doing things that would get us banned from society. Sam from Gamers Review Games here, and today we're counting down 10 video game moments that made us say, oh, I'm a bad person. Let's get into it. And just like that first anecdote, we've all done this one. You've just completed a quest for the local blacksmith or the town crier, and they have rewarded you for your efforts. You look down at the sword with +1 to damage that is significantly inferior to the one you found along the way to completing this laborious task. Even the XP wasn't enough to compensate for the work that you have just put in. It slowly dawns on you that there is only one way that the blacksmith can ever make amends, and that is with his life. And all the loot on his body and in his workshop. What? Don't judge me. We've all done it. You may have done it for the loot, you may have done it for vengeance, or maybe just because you needed to improve your one-handed weapon proficiency. But absolutely anyone who has ever played an RPG has laid waste to a side character. Sometimes it's just to test the boundaries of what a game will and won't allow. You'll swing your sword in every NPC's face just to see if you can damage or maim them. Most of the time, nothing will happen. But then, there'll be that one game that knows what you're going to do, and you'll end up paying the price. At its worst, being taken captive or killed by the town guards, or at the very least, knowing that there is one less person in town, all because you wanted to toss your sword around. Attempting to off an NPC is part and parcel with gaming. We both know it, so don't deny it. We may not actively think of ourselves as bad people for doing this, because after all, NPCs are basically just lines of code. Okay, maybe I am just a little bad. This next entry includes spoilers for the ending in Life is Strange. You have been warned. If you played Life is Strange, you already know what I'm about to say. The final choice the game gives you is easily the most brutal. You can choose to sacrifice a town to save your best friend, or sacrifice a relationship for the common good. Up until this point, Max has been focused on saving Chloe from her untimely demise, and going on to rewind time to avoid devastating moments in her life and the life of those around her. It makes this final choice so much more brutal. Do you undo all the choices you've made so far by letting events play out as they originally had? That is, with Chloe's death and ending the game by attending her funeral? Or do you sacrifice an entire town, let them be victim to the storm, including many of the friends you've made along the way, and drive away with Chloe, knowing that your actions are the cause of the devastation? Let's be honest, neither option seems appealing. Either way, Max loses out, and all by your own hand. If Chloe dies, it's because you allowed it to happen. If the town gets hit by the storm, it's because you put your own personal needs ahead of the majority. Either way, by the end, you'll feel bad about your decision. Sure, there is the greater good, but ending your 18-hour experience mourning a very preventable incident will leave you feeling at least slightly empty inside. Hey, thanks for finding this channel. I'm building this from scratch as a one-man team with a single goal, dropping high-quality lists for you every single week. By subscribing now, you aren't just a number, you're an early supporter helping me hit that weekly schedule faster. So thanks for being here. Next up, if you've played Fallout 3, you know the exact moment I'm about to mention. There is, or more correctly, was, a little town called Megaton that, if you decided to take the evil path, is now just a radioactive crater. Yeah, that's right. You can detonate the nuke that the town was built on. I mean, honestly guys, did that really seem like the most ideal place to build a settlement? They were basically asking for the town to be destroyed. Anyway, they're on top of the nuke, and you have the choice to either disarm it or rig it to explode. Being the good and righteous gamer that you are, I'm sure you couldn't possibly think of a reason why you would want to rig the explosives, unless you'd rather have a significant upgrade in living quarters as well as a much larger financial reward. But there are costs that come along with this decision. If you decide to eliminate the town for selfish gain, you lose access to any vendors, side quests, and other activities that would have happened in the town. So you'll have to work out whether the payoff is worth it, and you may even witness a key character become a ghoul. But yeah, enjoy that apartment and extra caps. I'm sure that you're totally happy with this decision and aren't ashamed of yourself at all. Next on the list, this entry includes spoilers for a certain run in Undertale. Undertale is meant to be whimsical. It is meant to make you crack up laughing. It's supposed to be lighthearted, at least to some extent. So why on earth would you try to take that all away? With the genocide route, this is exactly what you do. You see, Undertale has the unique option of sparing every creature you come up against. It is built into the game so that you can be the benevolent and merciful dungeon crawling hero that you're meant to be. The game tries everything it can to keep keep you on the path of pacifism, even being gracious if you accidentally take a couple lives. We know you didn't mean to, so here's a neutral ending for you. But if you decide to be a bit more intentional with the murder, well, the game doesn't take too kindly to it. At first, you finish off a couple enemies and think, this isn't so bad. Everything seems pretty normal. You won't notice it at first, maybe just a little thing out of place here or there. However, slowly but surely, the tone starts to decay. Dialogue becomes colder, the music becomes bleak and ominous, and NPCs just vanish. The game has acknowledged your intent. The characters in this world begin to fear you and what you have become, and they want no part in it at all. Random encounters stop. Instead, the game just displays, but nobody came. This chilling phrase signaling that you have erased life. And the fitting end is that the whole world gets erased. Yeah, starting to feel a little bad? But hold on, it's not done yet. Did you make sure to do the pacifist run before committing to your wicked deeds? No? Well, Undertale remembers exactly what you did. You thought you could just start a new game and all would be forgotten, right?
Pepperidge Farm remembers.
If you decide to try and keep everyone in the land of the living and satisfy that pacifist run, they will all ultimately die at the end anyway. And if that wasn't enough, all future attempts are now corrupted. So no matter how many times you try to launch the game for a fresh playthrough, it will be corrupted. Forever. Yeah, we all felt like bad people for this one. Up next, this entry can definitely make you feel at least a little bad. Helping Leopold Strauss with his business operations in Red Dead Redemption 2 may start off a little tame, but it won't be long before you see it for what it truly is. Heads up, there are minor spoilers for the Strauss story arc, so if you haven't played it yet, skip ahead. Early on, as you encounter Leopold Strauss for the first time, he will mention that there are a couple of people that owe the game money, and he puts you in charge of getting it back. The first few encounters are much simpler, with each of the debts being recovered from people who seemingly deserve a little encouragement. You know the sort, other criminals or nefarious people that are just generally up to no good. As you go down this path of financial recovery, the, let's call them patrons, are less criminal and conniving and more unlucky and down on hard times. Yet, your collection strategy remains unchanged. Every time you come across one of these unfortunate patrons, you'll hit them, take from them, and basically leave them worse off than they started, because apparently that's what you get when you can't pay your debt. It is later found out that Strauss's methods have included predatory lending practices that Arthur is very much against.
Predatory loans! We're very rich, but we don't sleep well at night.
Strauss sees people in need as walking money bags, and he has used you to do his bidding. You can redeem your actions by dealing with Strauss, but nothing is enough to wipe away that feeling that you have just crossed the line to deepen the gang's pockets. And it just isn't a great feeling, is it? Up next, I don't know how many of us actually felt bad for doing this, but we probably should. Throughout the Sims franchise, there is one goal that anyone who's ever played one of these games has tried to achieve. Cause so much stress to the Sims that eventually it ends in their demise one way or another. This probably wasn't the devs' intention for the game, but let's be real. If you let us do something nefarious, we're gonna do something nefarious. The reason we should be feeling like bad people is because of just the number of ways that you can get rid of your Sims. Aside from the basics, causing a kitchen fire and deleting all the doors, or drowning a Sim in a pool by deleting any ladders, Sims don't know how to climb up out of the pool on their own. The expansion packs create a load of funnier ways to send our Sims into the next life. Some of my personal favourites include Murphy Bed Collapse from Sims 3 Generations, Wishing Well Mishaps from Sims 4 Romantic Garden Stuff, and Cowplant from Sims 2 University. We should feel bad, but honestly, none of us do. Instead, we laugh maniacally as our Sims come to their untimely demise. It's not my fault the developers put these into the game, so here's a highlight reel of some of the best. Up next, The Witcher 3 somehow manages to find the morally grey in most situations. I mean, there are characters that I feel we should all hate, yet the game manages to spin the story to make us feel slightly sympathetic of any criminal's plight. Enter the Bloody Baron. He's trying to track down his wife and daughter and requests your help in exchange for furthering your quest. At first you may think, this poor guy's lost his family, so sure, maybe I'll help. Turns out, there is a lot more than meets the eye with this Baron. As you hear about his treatment of his family, suddenly their disappearance seems more understandable. But the question is, what do? You can help the Baron and further your own quest, or turn him down, making things harder for yourself in the process. Even if you choose to help him, the game constantly barrages you left and right with different plot points that make you question what is really going on. But that isn't the only tough choice here. Throughout this quest, there are many moments where you must make quick decisions, and let's just say that at times, it can feel like you're battling the lesser of two evils. If you choose to help the Baron reunite with his wife, despite the number of times he says he has changed, especially when considering what happened with his family before, you can't help but think that you'll be worse off as a result. The alternative, don't help him and watch how that unfolds. You won't be feeling good about yourself no matter the outcome. Up next, there is no surprise that Spec Ops The Line has shown up on this list. If you haven't heard it by now, Spec Ops The Line is an intriguing military shooter that puts you in the boots of Captain Martin Walker as he leads a Delta Force team in rescue efforts through a sandstorm-ravaged Dubai. Your main target is to find and support Colonel John Conrad after his humanitarian mission goes silent. As you traverse through the war-ravaged wasteland, you start to question your mission as you see the reality of war. So far, nothing too over the top, and you can push past most of it without feeling too bad. But then, it happens. In one moment, you go from slightly uncomfortably moving through each environment to complete distaste for your mission. And it all happens with two words: white phosphorus. You encounter a heavily fortified enemy position with entrenched soldiers and armored vehicles blocking your path. Your team show hesitance about using extreme measures to force your way through. Your response?
There's always a choice. No. There's really not.
Your character then decides to clear the area using a mortar filled with white phosphorus. Genius tactic, hey? Only after you realize that the area you just unleashed hell on isn't what you thought it was. It was hidden from view till just this moment, but most of the people that you wiped out, they weren't military. They were innocent people taking solace from the ongoing war. And the game wants you to know that they died because of your actions. And boy, does it show. From the horrified visuals of the corpses to a woman clutching her child, it hits hard. If you didn't feel like a bad person up until this point, this moment will make you feel it. Go get a tissue and wipe your eyes, because I know that you, like me, were bawling your eyes out.
No, I'm not crying. You're crying.
Papers, Please is up next, and this game as a whole will make you feel terrible. What I mean is, whilst the story and mechanics are intriguing, the overall morose feeling will put you at unease as you make critical decisions that determine the outcome of your own future. You're a border inspector that must check passports, visas, and all other paperwork of people attempting to enter the fictional country of Arstotzka. In this role, you'll ensure that all documentation is correct and legitimate, whilst the list of forgeries and conditions continually expand. The moral dilemma is introduced with the increasing pressure from your employer to crack down on any what they would deem illegal behavior, including preventing access to certain individuals who realistically may not be the threat that they're presented as. Of course, your family depend on your meager paycheck, so deciding to help people through the border that could make real change will lead to you being penalized financially, subsequently causing family members' health and well-being to deteriorate, leading to illness or even death. You may have helped some rebels through the border, but was it worth your mother getting sick because you couldn't afford any medicine? You must choose whether or not you would allow harm to come to you and your family to help free the country from an oppressive regime, or let the regiment continue whilst rejecting and detaining unsuspecting individuals, all for your personal gain. By the time you reach any of the 20 individual endings, you'll be questioning if you made the right decisions. And so you'll play it again and again without ever reaching that everybody wins scenario, because truthfully, someone always must pay. For my final entry, Fable is a game about choices. You can choose right or wrong, good or evil, and the world will adapt around you. You may cruise through most of the game making mixed moral choices, which affect your reputation, thinking, oh well, I have a decent enough standing with most of the town, so I can afford to be a little bad. But what happens when one choice can either solidify you as a hero or turn you into the ultimate villain? Well, that is the exact choice you must make with the Sword of Aeons. In the original 2004 release, the Sword of Aeons is not only the most powerful weapon in the game, but it makes confrontations substantially more manageable. This all sounds great until you realize exactly what you must give up to get it. You've worked hard till this point, finally defeated Jack of Blades, and then it happens. The opportunity to wield the Sword of Aeons. But the price is high. It is the life of your own sister, Teresa. This decision isn't made lightly though. On On one hand, you can save your sister and forfeit the sword, Noble. On the other, you can wield power that you have never had before, but your sister's life is forfeit, and your morality changes to evil with little to no chance to ever get it back up again. You can make the decision, but remember, the game will permanently brand you for this choice. It's game mechanics like these that ultimately lead to replayability as well as some memorable moments. If you want to see more lists just like this, click the video on screen now.